Okay, folks, we are live. Welcome to Swing Trading Today. It is 5:01 in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Let's peruse the futures. I want to go over as well some chart requests that were submitted. RNET, RNET. This is for folks that are coming on later on the replay. If you want to catch these symbols in their order. RNET, FRT, XRX, TSLA. I thought I had another one here. I'll go over it. I'll find it. It's on my chart list here. Anyway, I don't want to bore you. I will find it and come back to it. Oh, NAIL is another one. That's the home building ETF. That broke out yesterday. Okay, so no major economic data coming out today. We are seeing a lift this morning in bond prices. That means yields are pulling back a bit. We saw the same type of price action yesterday morning, and ultimately by the end of the day we had faded. But we look a little bit stronger this morning because unlike yesterday, we have now put in higher highs. So the bond market's beginning to firm up. That makes sense as to why we saw a little bit of weakness yesterday in the banks. And we may get more of that today. Let's take a look at the dollar, which continues to take a drubbing here. I mean, we're ready to take out. I have an alert set here. It already took it out. This alert won't fire off. This is what I don't like about Thinkorswim. It won't fire off until after the markets are open. So we have a breakdown on the dollar. New weekly lows this morning. So you could bet. Good morning, Kat. You could bet that we're probably going to see a continuation move higher in commodities. What might keep a lid on the commodity rally? Bond yields pulling back a bit. Actually, no, I had that wrong. It's early. First cup of coffee. Bond yields are going to be the wind at the back because they're pulling back yet again. So that's only going to help commodities. I misspoke. It's when yields rise. It's viewed to be a fight against inflation where we see a pause in commodity prices. And you saw it last week with gold a little bit. Let's take a look at the major indexes. Speaking of gold, let's go with gold. Poof. We are well established back above the 2,000 mark. Jim Rickards, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Jim Rickards. I would strongly suggest you go to YouTube, type in Hedge Eye interview, Keith McCullough with Jim Rickards. They did a really good interview, Keith did, with Jim Rickards, talking about the debt, talking about gold, and I'm a big fan of Jim Rickards. I really encourage everyone to go take a look at that video, that interview. It was done recently. So, gold looking very, very strong here. We remain long of the gold miners. I was hoping for more of a consolidation, but it is not to be. Let's bring up silver. Silver broke out yesterday. On a daily basis anyway. Yep, and here you have it on a 4-hour basis as well. Firm breakout. We're up nearly 2.5% this morning. So here's your W formation, higher low on silver, subsequent breakout. We didn't spend much time vacillating, so these pullbacks need to be bought. And it looks as though we're going to head up higher here. Now, I hate to go chasing anything. So if we do chase, it'll be very, very small in position sizing. Ideally, we retest this breakout point at around 27.79. Let's take a look at other metals. Palladium breaking out. We called this one back here. And it looks as though we had the pause that refreshed. And we are now beginning to take that next leg up higher. Uranium did well yesterday. We're long of uranium. These are just markers from my head of where we are at. My apologies for the silence. Okay, so we remain in the trading range. Once we blow through 2,300, we're going a lot higher here. Note the tight Bollingers on palladium. Nice chart, breaking out. Platinum, up strong as well. Rising uptrend channel. Early stage breakout within that channel. Very nice. Sticking with commodities for a moment, I really want to take a look at ag names. Corn down. We're looking to buy the DBA, which is a ag ETF. I've been reluctant. It looks good on a weekly basis, just a matter of timing. Soybeans down as well. Wheat down as well. You know, ag names are still in a very early stage breakout, so there's going to be a lot of backing and filling. No rush to go chasing here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Big day yesterday. Pulling back a bit today. But I do think that Bitcoin does go higher. As long as the CPI continues to move up higher, we have all the data in the world to support our long thesis of Bitcoin. So CPI definitely moving up higher. Bitcoin should follow suit. We covered the dollar. Let's go to the equities now. Oh, you know what? Before we go to equities, stick with commodities. Oil. Flirting with a breakout. Let's check out nat gas. Where's nat gas? There we go. All right, so nat gas flirting with a breakout. So energy, while flat on the session. Both nat gas and oil attempting runs at resistance levels. Once rejected, pulling back now. It appears as though we're going to make another run here. So at some point in time, I think that nat gas is going to break out. Out of curiosity, just want to take a look at nat gas on a weekly basis to get that higher level view. And yeah, I mean, we broke out back here in late June, retested in late July, off to the races ever since. Still at resistance, but the longer term chart looks strong. I mean, we broke above this pivot point here. Of this W formation. This is the left side of the W, midpoint or pivot point, right side, breaking out. So nat gas longer term looks pretty good. It's got an interesting message. I'm starting to echo. Hope I have my right microphone on here. Cat, try to do a refresh. Maybe that'll help. Okay. Let's see what else we have. I'll try to pull back away from the mic. Maybe that'll help. Gasoline breaking out. So the energy space, the metals are all breaking out. Still echoing, Cat? Let's go to the stock market futures. The Russell 2000. 4-hour basis. Better? Okay, yeah, I pulled back from the mic. Okay. I mean, the Russell is looking very, very good here. It's flat, but it's looking very, very good. And all small caps are not made equal. I took a look, I discussed this with members last night on Market Wrap about how your COVID plays, case in point, Blue Apron, or Dropbox. Good morning, Tommy. Those names are not working. I mean, Dropbox was up yesterday, but it sold off the highs of the day. Blue Apron weak yesterday. Virgin Galactic weak yesterday. Not that that's a COVID play, but it was a high fly for a while there. Those names aren't working at current, yet they're small and micro caps. And the micro cap index looks just like the chart anyway. Looks just like the small cap index. So I'm led to conclude that we have a lot of biotech names. Healthcare biotech did very, very well yesterday. We opened up a position in biotech on a breakout. We're going to be looking to add more there. So we'll keep an eye on biotech. Very interesting space at current. I didn't expect a breakout this week. I expected it in healthcare, but the biotech chart did not look wonderful going into the week, but it did break out. It has broken out on a daily basis. We're looking for a weekly breakout, possibly a retest of the breakout point on a daily basis. We'll be looking to add more. Back to the small caps. What we have here on a 4-hour basis, inverted head and shoulder setup, left shoulder here, right head here, right shoulder here. We are breaking out. You're buying silver in CDN, Canadian dollars. Should I wait as our dollar is improving? Although it should not. Finance minister resign. Oh, boy, really? I hadn't heard that. Our neighbors to the north. I think the U.S. dollar is going nowhere but down. I think your dollar, despite the short term blip uh, with your with your finance minister, that's like the CFO leaving, uh, should continue higher given your exposure to commodities. I mean, if oil breaks out, I can't see the Canadian dollar going anywhere else but up relative to the U.S. dollar. So if you're going to enter the silver trade, just stay small, nibble, nibble, nibble. Uh, as you pause, consolidate, add more on a breakout. And that's a strategy I would employ. I'm a little bit nervous to go chasing and going all in on silver right now, despite how healthy the daily chart looks. I mean, it's very volatile, and we're always going to get opportunities to add at a better risk reward entry point. But as long as commodities stay strong, Cat, I think the Canadian dollar is going to do well. I want to go back. I want to take a look at copper really quick. Now, if memory serves me, you're up at Prince Edward Sound. Is that correct? Does my memory serve me properly? Whoever's out there, leading edge lithium Australia, you're spamming me, dude. I'm not going to approve um, your messages there. You're being blocked by YouTube. Okay, copper futures looking very healthy here. Very, very healthy. Gotcha. All right, I was close. Copper looking really strong. You gotta wonder why, right? Why is copper so strong? Something's going on. Whether it be the transition out of China, whether it be infrastructure spending in China, mixture of both. S&P 500. Breaking out. We're going to get all-time highs here on the SPX. We already have them on the SPY. I think we're going up higher here. What else do we have? NASDAQ 100, where are you? There we go. NASDAQ 100. We stopped out of we put on a hedge short of the NASDAQ 100. We took that off yesterday. And I'm glad that we did. So we have a breakout this morning, up nearly a quarter percentage point. So it looks as though we are heading up higher here on the Qs. Let's go to our chart requests. RNet. What is RNet? RNet. RigNet. I have no idea what these guys do. I like the daily chart, but we'll come back to this. All right, for those just joining in, what we're using is TrendSpider, automated technical analysis. They sponsor us. We're partners with them. Free to our silver and gold level members. And if you're interested in their product and you don't want anything to do with me, except for getting discounts and value, there's a link below, 35% off of all of their plans. And again, automated technical analysis. With a click of a button, here are your support and resistance levels on a monthly basis. I call it my spell check for technical analysis because sometimes I miss stuff. which is rare. Very, very rare. But it does happen. Okay. The monthly chart looks very healthy here on RigNet. We have a breakout. We broke out back here in June. Seems like a long time ago. And we hit resistance. Take note of these volume shelves. What these volume shelves to your right imply is historical volume at these price points. It's very valuable. Rather than having a single day or a single month's volume bar for any one time frame, this gives you volume at a price point cumulatively. So this, one would expect, should now act as support as we've rallied through it. But the problem is that we have a bit of a volume shelf still above that we're working through. So on a monthly basis, I don't see a compelling reason to go running in with both feet at current. Now, once we get above, where's this VWAP at? 5.38. And we close above there on a monthly basis, you have a quick and easy run up to a really nice move up to possibly mid-9s on RigNet. Good morning, Mark. I'm assuming nice on the automated technical analysis. Thank you, sir. If I didn't get that right, please let me know and I'll clarify. Any questions that you might have? NY Jets, good morning. When the dollar loses 92.50, are you expecting a significant rise in gold and silver? I'm more concerned, to answer your question, yes. But once we break 88 on the dollar, the Dixie, I think the dollar's all over and you're going to see a dramatic rise in gold and silver because that marks a big lower low, a major, major lower low on the U.S. dollar. And psychological support as well. I'll bring that chart up in a moment if we have time because I'm watching it very, very closely and we can get there quicker than most people think once we have people losing confidence in the U.S. dollar. So let's stick with this. We'll go to that chart in a moment. Before I leave the monthly chart, we have Stokes, which are hooking up, RSI hooking up, and we have a breakout. Weekly chart. We have a weekly breakout above a volume shelf. Good stuff. We're flirting with this is a 50-period moving average. And a clean breakout. We broke out last week above one resistance level. This week above another. Let's overlay on top of the weekly chart a monthly overlay of support and resistance. Not much to worry about until we get up to a 7 handle. So let's take this off, clean this up a little bit. Daily chart. Now the daily chart looked pretty good when we broke out yesterday. So what I'd like to see here is a pullback and a retest of this breakout point. I think we'll probably get it. And RNET. Keep this active for the week. RNET looking good, bullish. Just beware, going back to that monthly chart quickly. While we're breaking out above these volume shelves, you still have one to get through, that $4.89 mark. Once we close above there, we become very, very bullish. In fact, I'm going to create another little alert here. I want to know when we break through. And we'll keep this active for a couple of weeks. And we're good to go. There they are. Set it, forget it, let it come to us. I probably won't think about it until that alert fires off. The next chart up, FRT. I know this company. Federal Investment Trust. There we go. Okay. All right. This is a show me stock. So last week, or last month, I should say, not last week. Last month we had a very poor month. We did not break out down to new lower lows. Are we putting in a higher low? Maybe. We don't know yet. This is one I would definitely wait for a breakout on. And ideally, a close. What did we close out yesterday? Closed 82.45. Right here. Get through this resistance. At around 83.30. And more here. 88.69. The Stokes is still out as to whether or not they are improving. These could easily roll back over again. RSI is looking good. Not loading the Stokes on a monthly basis. I think what we're doing here is setting up a W formation. We don't know yet, right? So we're halfway through the month. The month looks okay thus far, but no breakout yet. We have a stiff volume shelf, two of them above, so a lot of resistance. So to open right now would be very, very speculative, and we are in. Let's go back to that monthly chart. I don't like to speculate long unless we're at extreme oversold levels when we're in a downtrend. And we're in a clear and defined downtrend. Now, this week, we are beginning to break out. Week is not over. We still have resistance above at 83.30. I could argue that I want to see a pullback and a retest. I would still prefer to see a breakout above this resistance on a weekly basis. Resistance number 1 of 2. And here's where life gets a little bit easier if we're able to get through this resistance level. That would be the game plan. Open on a close above 83, let's call it 83 bucks a share, 83.30. Add more on a successful close above 88.72. That would be the play. You really, a stock like this, you need to appreciate the longer term fundamental story. You expect it to improve. I really don't. It looks like they're a REIT of some sort. I don't know much about the company. All I'm doing is going by the technicals right now. What I do like here is that we have a higher low on Stokes. We broke out back here in June. We've pulled back in July. We're bouncing off of what was resistance, is now support. So that's pretty cool. Daily chart. Let's take this off. So we broke out here August the 12th. Retest 1, 2, third time yesterday. I think that we may pop up higher. Again, we need to see a close above 83.30. We get that close. That's the signal that the shares can be bought. If you want to speculate, you want to buy today, fine. Use a stop loss right below 81.10. Keep that loss very, very small. Remember, it's in a long-term downtrend. Yeah, Mark, the volume shelves are something that I adopted not all that long ago. I've always appreciated volume, but not in the cumulative sense. The best you can get in the cumulative sense is on a monthly chart. But this really drives it home, having these volume shelves tell you the history at any one given price point. So I like it. I like it a lot, and I continue to adopt it. And I'm growing more and more used to the Anchored VWAP. I don't like to talk about it all too much until I'm very proficient at it. And Anchored VWAP is right here. And there's a how-to video if you're subscribed to TrendSpider. All right, moving on to. It does, yeah, it does paint the picture. Yep, absolutely. XRX. Xerox. What a mess. What a mess. It's a nightmare. I mean, it's a confirmed downtrend. You can see right where we're stuck at is resistance. Look at all these volume shelves above. A ton of resistance above. I don't see, at least on a monthly view, the compelling reason to buy these shares. With all this overhead supply. I mean, there's too many other good stocks out there. Unless, again, of course, if you see value here, then the technicals shouldn't matter all that much. Unless you're short-term trading. But if you're a fundamentalist, then you shouldn't be worried about the short-term trading. You should be worried about the long-term prospects. I don't like it from a technical perspective, at least on a monthly basis. Maybe the deep dive will sway me a bit. And the weekly chart, okay, it's firming up here. We have broken out a couple of times, only to be rejected. If we close out the week above 1811, maybe we'll get a run up to, not a bad run, up to about 25 bucks a share before we hit stiff resistance. keep it active for the next couple of weeks. So possible W formation here. You can see that we broke out the week of July the 13th, pulled back, retested, follow through to the upside. No new weekly high yet. Monthly resistance way up here, so nothing to be concerned about. Daily chart. Daily breakout yesterday. So you have a weekly breakout, retest with a daily breakout as well. It looks like they may take this up higher, at least on a short-term basis. Now, longer-term downtrend would have me in and have me out once it hit my price point at around $25 a share if we get up that high. I mean, who the heck is buying Xerox products right now? And maybe that's a contrarian play. Higher low Stokes, RSI, excuse me. Both are looking good. We may pop up higher here. The alert's set. And perhaps we'll trade it. But only a short-term swing trade. Tesla, everybody's favorite. I was asked last night, do I believe it's going to 2,000? Yep, I do. But man, I'll tell you, just as I said back here, this is unsustainable. You get into the same area yet again, and there's going to be a brutal sell-off. On a monthly basis, we're trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. We were there last month. We sold off. We have a new monthly high. This thing's just an animal. Daily chart. A weekly chart, I should say. Weekly chart. Clean breakout yesterday. New all-time highs. Clear blue skies, meaning no resistance above. We've spoken about volume shelves quite a bit today. No, there's nothing above. Daily chart. Again, trading above third standard deviation Bollinger Band. This time on a daily basis. We have it on a monthly basis. Very extended. But that being said, we're probably going higher. RSI might be over 70, but it still can go a lot higher. So I think that we could easily see 2,000. It's probably a foregone conclusion at this point that we're going to see that mark. So Tesla, if you're long, think about using a trailing stop loss order. Let the market take you out, because when this goes, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. So let the market take you out as close to the highs as possible, just like it would have back here on the 13th of July. And you could have re-entered at support. Nail. I think this is the last one. NAIL. I spoke about this one over the weekend. This was a request. This is a home builder ETF. I was bullish on it then. I'm bullish on it now. Monthly breakout above resistance. Assuming that we close there. A bit of resistance above, which we're right at. Weekly chart. We have a breakout on the week. Next week, I'd like to see a retest of this breakout point. And I would look to, if I'm not long of it by then, I would look to open a position at that price point with a stop loss right below. And lumber prices for these guys surging. Yet the shares continue to rally. Daily chart. Very nice breakout yesterday. So we're liking NAIL. I think it goes higher. Yeah, I bet, Cat. I bet. There's not many people out there able to afford the share price. And the volatility goosing up those premiums. And with that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a profitable trading day. Thanks for joining in. Smash that like button if you would. And join us tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll chat with you then. Be well.